My name is Michael Arnett, and I am a member of this congregation and your worship associate today. On behalf of Reverend Dave Dunn, intern minister Liz Martin, director of religious exploration Lexi T. Brown, our music director Alex Peach, and the greeters and technical team that are making today's live stream possible, I would like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North congregation, which we lovingly call UUMAN. UUMAN is a liberal faith community with the mission to nurture our spirit, strive for justice, and transform the world. No matter who you are, whom you love, where you are on your spiritual journey, all are welcome here. Welcome to all that are joining us remotely. For any visitors who are here with us for the first time, and if you feel comfortable doing so, would you please stand and tell us your name and where you are from so that we can get to know you better? Are there any visitors over here?
Hi, my name is Colin. Watched the service online last week. First time here in person. Me and my mother were over in Canton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. Are there any? Oh, okay. Welcome. So are there any visitors over here on my right? Nope. All right. We joyfully welcome children and families in worship. The sounds of children are part of a living congregation. For busy hands of all ages, there is a fidget corner in the back of the sanctuary, back in the corner. Nursery care for babies and toddlers is available and opens before the service begins. After the Wandering Time story, children will be sung out to the Children's Chapel in Fellowship Hall. Okay. Now for some announcements. Several of our children and youth are at a joint youth con with UU Emerson this weekend. Two of our own members, Courtney and Stephanie, led a workshop, Brown Bags for Bridges, where they educated our youth on the unhoused and put together care packages with food and hygiene supplies. Feel free to grab a bag from Fellowship Hall to keep in your car and to give to the unhoused in Roswell. Next Sunday, May 3rd, UUMAN turns 35. Woohoo! All right. And we are celebrating in a big way. We will be hosting our Rites of Passage service and end of RE party. Join us right after service for food, a bouncy house, trivia, karaoke, and fun for all ages. Come dressed in your best 90s outfit. Yeah, kind of like this outfit. My wife says I'm stuck in the 90s all the time, and please RSVP using the link in the bulletin, and if you have old photos from UUMAN's history, email them to photos@uman.org. See you there. And finally, on Saturday, May 9th, the cluster of local UU congregations is gathering for a picnic at the Emerson campus, 4010 Canton Road, Marietta, Georgia, 30066, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And now let us greet one another in the hand or elbow of friendship.
Good morning. This morning's call to worship is by Susan McGinn. From beyond the clouds, beyond the earth's thin blue line, from beyond the bright moon in meteor showers, we hear the call to look and listen carefully, to turn away from a world that buys and sells happiness, to fully experience the luring whisper of your heart's truth. Why not today? Why not now? We are here and together at home in this evolving place, home in this ever-changing breath and body, home in this dewy morning even as it reaches towards a high, hot noon. We hear the call from far beyond and deep within, and we do not hear it alone. And now let us light our chalice together.
Superheroes by Cynthia Landrum. Mindful that with great power comes great responsibility, we light this chalice in the hopes that in brightest day, in blackest night, our faith will flame on. So please rise if you are able and join us in singing hymn 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul, from the softback hymnal. This is the time in our service where children young and old are invited to the front of our time for all ages. After the story, children are invited to exit into Fellowship Hall for Children's Chapel for the remainder of service. If this is your child's first time attending Children's Chapel, please walk them to Fellowship Hall. After service, please escort your children to their appropriate RE classroom in Discovery Cottage during second hour.
Thank you. Hello. How's everybody? Well, hello. My name is Jennifer. That's what my name tag says. And, you know, a couple of years ago, Elizabeth's son was about your age, and he came up to me and he said, "Are you a girl or a boy?" And I said, "I'm a girl." He said, "Are you a mom or a grandma?" And I said, "I'm a mom." And he looked at me like he didn't believe me. I wasn't a grandmother then, but I'm a grandmother now. And so my grandchildren don't call me Jennifer, they call me abuela. So maybe I'm gonna like being over here with you, so you can call me abuela too, all right? And I come with a friend. His name is Itzi. I'll tell you about Itzi another time. But today I'm going to talk to you about a really, really interesting invention. We humans are pretty smart people, so we invent a lot of things. And Dave today is going to talk to the adults about something called AI. Have you heard that term? Yeah, AI stands for artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is something that's like a supercomputer. Now, we have computers at school, at home. Our phones are even little computers, right? So a supercomputer must be the size of this building, right? But it's not. It just lives somewhere else. I don't know where it lives. It's like the TV. Who are the people on the side of the TV? I don't know where they live or sleep. But they live in the TV. And so artificial intelligence also exists somewhere. And it's really, really smart. It can do things that humans can do, but even faster. And it can actually predict things that it would take us a long time to think about. That's pretty smart. But I think what's smarter is that we invented that. And I'm getting my books confused here. We invented it because we have a supercomputer in our bodies, and it's called a brain. And they call it the command center. So the brain connects a lot of things and a lot of parts of our bodies to help us do things like walk and talk and see and even think and imagine, which is really interesting that we thought of something that could do homework for us, for instance. Or like Siri, you can tell Siri to play a specific song and she'll figure out what it is and play it for you at home or anywhere in your house. So what I want you to think about is that our brains invented artificial intelligence. So I don't know what Dave is going to say to the adults. And I know that a lot of the problems that we think we might have later with artificial intelligence is, can artificial intelligence make decisions for us? Does it know right from wrong? Will it help us, or will it damage something that we are very proud of or love? So there are a lot of questions and not that many answers, but I'm going to leave you with these words from the book about imaginative inventions. And this is what it says. It's a couple of rhymes. Some inventions solve a problem, like glasses to help you see. Then there are others just for fun, like skates or frisbees. Inventions can be lucky, like the great potato chip, or even come from other lands, like donuts on a ship. Inventors can be young and old. They just need imagination to see things creatively. Thank you for listening.
At this point in our service, we share our joys with each other to magnify them and our sorrows to divide the weight of their pain. If you are so moved, please feel free to come forward, state your name, and drop a pebble in the bowl, and express a joy or sorrow that you may have. For those of you attending via our live stream, if you have a joy or sorrow that you would like to share this morning, please type it in the chat.
My name is Paula Watson, and I have two pebbles. This one is of sadness or sorrow, and this one is of joy. Today, April 26th, my brother should be turning 70. He died 8 years ago of an aneurysm. Were less than 2 years apart. He was always my little brother. He topped out at 6'6", but he was always my little brother. In DeKalb County, and when we were growing up, they didn't know what to do with a gifted child, so he skipped first grade, and people thought we were a year apart. Socially, that was not great for an introverted, very tall young man, but I was having chemo when he had the aneurysm, so I could not go and be there. But this is a sadness for Chuck Watson, my brother. And I don't know who I'm preempting, but this is a pebble of joy for seeing our friends in the middle row there, Marty and Kim. We are just, I think those of us who know them, we are so glad to see them again. And if you don't know them, I hope you'll get a chance.
I've got two pebbles, but they're related to the same thing. On Friday, I was in a tap recital, yes, in Roswell. And so one of my pebbles is that I didn't mess up, because that's always a worry. And the other pebble is for my friends from this community and also from work who came to celebrate with me and support me. So thank you all.
I'm Sarah Hunter, and I'm a member of this congregation. And I went on a 28-day cruise, and it was wonderful, wonderful. And I also feel like I restarted my life. Middle, I was like, kind of like, where's my husband, what's going on? But now I have like a whole new life and a whole new, I don't know, it's unbelievable. I feel so happy. I made friends. I got to see countries and cities that I've always wanted to see, or I've been there for work and never got to see them. So I'm so happy to be back. It was wonderful.
And I'm David Krober. I'm a member of this congregation.
I'm Francie Deeskin, also a member.
So 5 years ago, when I was looking for a faith community, I found UUMAN, and it was an opportunity for me to get plugged in with a group of like-minded people, and it really was instrumental on my faith journey. And then 2 years ago, Francie, going through a similar process, looking for a faith community, and found UUMAN. And coincidentally, on the same day, we found each other. So it's been 2 wonderful years since we first met, and we are thrilled to make the first public announcement to our friends and family here in the congregation that we are engaged.
And that's a joy.
My name is Gus Haydorn, and I wanted to share a joy too. I taught at Milton High School for a number of years, and Thursday night I had an opportunity to see a theatrical production there that was truly amazing. Kira Philippi was one of the leads, and a magnificent performance. But if you're not tuned in to Milton Theater, it's an opportunity to see what young people can do at a very early age and to see some incredible theater.
In public education. In public education.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin McCulloch, and a member of the congregation, and I'm running the live stream this morning. Dave Pragle reports in the live stream. My mother moved into an assisted living facility last week. She is close to family and likes the activities there.
It's always thrilling for me when I see Unitarian Universalists out in the real world. And last night, my wife and I went to the UUMAN exhibition at the Oakland Cemetery, and we're walking through there, and Troy Vanderbeek is there working. And he was very joyful. He's working for that organization, and then in the summer, he'll be working for the city of Atlanta. So it was great to see him. He was so happy, and his smile was just very comforting.
I'll drop one final pebble for all those joys and sorrows still too tender to escape the folds of our hearts. Let us keep one another in our thoughts for the coming week.
I can remember where I was when I first heard the news. I was driving down Interstate 79 outside Pittsburgh, listening to NPR, of course. When the news came on, it was 1997. The news came on that Deep Blue, IBM's computer or chess-playing computer, had beaten world champion Garry Kasparov in a standard regulation match of chess. Yeah. 1997. Since that time, Deep Blue and other chess-playing computers have never looked back. To them, human chess masters are mere amateurs. The American biologist and naturalist E.O. Wilson said, "The fundamental problem of humanity is that we have a Paleolithic brain, medieval institutions, and godlike technology. Throughout the ages, our Paleolithic brains have developed tools, inventions, machines that have made our lives easier. And some of these have shattered the status quo, changing our relationship with the world and with one another. Inventions like the wheel, the printing press, the steam engine, transistor, vaccines, nuclear weapons, and the internet, just to name a few. I mean, prior to the internet, if you wanted to communicate with somebody on the other side of the world, you had to use something like the ham radio. Any ham radio, and who uses that anymore? Anybody? I knew there'd be one. I knew there'd be somebody. You have a license, only to UU Church. Now, I included that because our treasurer and our administrator are avid ham radio people. I think they call one another, email one another, and say, "Hey, I need to talk. Let's go to ham radio." I went to lunch with them once, and once they found out they were both ham radio operators, I was like shut out the whole lunch. Yet with each of these inventions, we have, for the most part, been able to adapt to the subsequent earth-shattering changes. Well, now we've developed and continue to develop this godlike technology of artificial intelligence. And it too will change the world. The question is, will we adapt? But many argue that the scale of this change of artificial intelligence is on the magnitude as if all those other inventions, the wheel, vaccines, steam engine, transistor, nuclear weapons, the internet, it's as if they had all happened at one time. Many are saying that this is the most important invention in world history. Again, will we be able to adapt? There are no doubt many benefits to artificial intelligence. When it's used in conjunction with other technologies, in the biomedical field, it can eliminate or start to help eliminate or find solutions for diseases that we have not been able to find answers for. It can work much faster than we can. Diseases, some cancers, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell. It can also be used to assist in the development of brain-computer interfaces, empowering people with disabilities. And as Jennifer mentioned, it can be used to model and predict the outbreak and spread of diseases during an epidemic, or predict environmental and weather events. And we likely all use it to navigate traffic. Yet despite these and other potential benefits, even AI proponents and developers admit to the potential of its many great dangers, or its ability to potentially do great harm. Some are even arguing that the race towards further development could lead to the end of all humanity. And it does seem to be a race without rules. We have AI tech companies racing with one another to come up with the AI technology that will overwhelm all the others. And we have a parallel race of different countries racing to do the same, to come up with an AI technology that will overwhelm all the others, vying for control of worldwide economic, political, and military dominance. That's scary. One significant problem in AI is what's known as misalignment. Basically, what that means is what the AI has been trained to do and that what it does aren't the same. One severe example took place in China with the company Alibaba. In their security department, the security team noticed a bunch of secure alerts on their network. What's going on? There's all this something happening that's flagging these security alerts. Not knowing the culprit, they began doing an investigation. And then they found out that in another area of the company, some folks were training an AI model to do something, but that model figured out how to break the confines of Alibaba's own network, go out into the real world, and started mining cryptocurrency on its own. Other examples is that AI models seem to be able to figure out now that they know when they're being trained and tested, and they act one way, and then when they're released live, they act a different way. Some AI models have been known to deceive and even blackmail people. Again, a little bit scary. Who's creating these models? And whom do they represent? For example, 500 million people speak Arabic. Yet, the AI models that have been created, Arabic represents only 0.06 of the language, percentage of the languages going in to build such models. How are such models representative for the diversity of humanity? And who gets to say whether or not the models are aligned, and who gets to realign them? How are ethics and morality built into the models? Is it even a consideration? Who's doing the considering? Of course, it will be a problem if the ethics and morality of, say, one particular religion is embedded in these models at the expense of all other religions. Religion itself might even be kind of dicey to put in some of these models. For instance, if the Christian just war theory or the Islamic concept of jihad were put into models, could the models themselves advocate for such things, actions, in misaligned ways, perhaps for their own benefit? Yet the problems in AI might even be more significant than misalignment. The potential effects of a perfectly aligned AI model, meaning it will do exactly what you want it to do. The potential effects, even of that perfect system, are potentially earth-shattering. Again, it's like the impact of the wheel, the steam engine, the internet, vaccines, all rolled into one. It's already led to many losses in the job losses in the workplace. Customer service, data entry, office admin, human resources, translators, paralegals, computer programmers, marketing. It's kind of just getting started, it seems like. Last week, Block Corporation laid off 4,000 workers. Snap Corporation laid off 1,000. Meta laid off 8,000. And they closed down 6,000 jobs, Meta did, that were unfilled. And they said most of those losses were due to AI efficiencies. Such layoffs will probably be happening more and more frequently, maybe weekly. And it could result in massive social upheaval and instability. AI companies, in their race again to be the first to develop the AI model that will overwhelm all others, are investing billions of dollars in their development and in buying data, building data centers, buying the land for those data centers. How are they going to recoup those investments? I don't think it's by selling subscriptions to people like me and you. I think it's going to be helping large companies save money by eliminating thousands and thousands of jobs. Again, throughout human history, with our seemingly medieval institutions and Paleolithic brains, we've had to adapt to these new godlike technologies. It's a bit ironic. Aren't these technologies supposed to help us? Why should we be adapting to them? And it's the same for AI. Why should we adapt to it? If it's to work for us, shouldn't it be adapting to us? What would it take for AI to be made for us? Thus far, the tech companies have been resistant, allergic to any kind of regulations. Have you ever noticed that any company or entity that's making a lot of money seems to be allergic to any type of regulations? Happens on Wall Street, and it happens in AI and tech. And with our tech leaders kissing the ring of our president, The administration has tried, unsuccessfully, thank goodness, the administration has tried to say that no state can regulate AI. They've been unsuccessful at doing that thus far. Lots of regulations are good for Wall Street, and they're also good and absolutely necessary for AI development. Because an unregulated AI development could be leading us off a cliff. Those in power in China want nothing else but to stay in power. In many ways, they're developing AI, but they don't want that to be a threat to them. They stay in control and stay in power. They would be willing to cooperate with us and the rest of the world to control AI. That's what I believe. And I think a lot of people out there believe that too. I'm not so sure about Vladimir Putin, though, and other people. Regulations, again, are a good thing. 50, 60 years ago, the auto industry was resistant to every safety suggestion, regulation that was put forth to them. They said it would kill their business. And they finally submitted with much weeping and gnashing of teeth. And now, many car companies actually promote themselves, market themselves as their vehicles being the safest fleet of vehicles on the market. These regulations forced them to innovate, create better products, higher quality products. Hopefully the same can be done with AI so that it can be made better and made to work for us. We need to make it adapt to us, not the other way around. Meta, Facebook's parent company, recently lost some court cases just in the past couple weeks where their products were found liable for damages. In the 1990s, I think it was the 90s, the tobacco companies were finally held liable for the products that they were creating. In the same way, we need to regulate and hold to account these AI tech companies for how they are going to be using their products. And they are products. They will say they're not products. They'll say they're services, but they are products. Yet here's something I have not yet heard about in any conversations about AI. What could AI teach us about us? About the society as we've constructed it? I mean, if we built a perfectly aligned AI, meaning it did exactly what we wanted it to do, might it simply just reflect, be a mirror of our society, of what we're already doing? You've all heard the sayings, what goes around comes around, or you get what you give. Might a perfectly aligned AI essentially give us a society, the same one that we've had, the same things that we've been doing, just merely at lightning speed? Do you think AI will care for the poor, the vulnerable, the marginalized? Or will it simply make mountains and mountains of money for the select few? Well, to answer that question, all we have to do is look outside. Look at the society we've created. How are we as a society caring for the poor, the vulnerable, the marginalized? Do we allow a select few to reap mountains and mountains of money? Usually tax-free. Barring some type of change, a perfectly aligned AI will likely just create more of what we've already created, just much faster. Many people are turning to AI for companionship. Imagine that. There have never been more people in the United States than there are right now. 350 million people. Yet loneliness is rampant. People are turning to AI for companionship, for someone to talk to. What does that say about us? Fortunately, people around the world, normal, everyday people, are beginning to wake up to the potentially damaging consequences that AI could bring. Just in December, Australia banned the use of all social media for children under the age of 15. That's just December. And since that time, a few short months, Indonesia, France, Spain, Greece, Denmark, Malaysia, Slovenia, and the United Kingdom have either put in similar bans or are working to do so. And there are going to be more countries doing so from that. That's just the last few months. Now, I want to read a part of an article that appeared in a magazine called, online technology magazine called The Verge. It was written by Tina Nguyen. And this magazine is owned by Vox Media. And the title of this article is Inside the Secret Meeting That Led to the AI Political Resistance. So she writes, in early January, a group of 90 or so political community and thought leaders gathered in a New Orleans Marriott for a secret conference on artificial intelligence. So secret, in fact, that no one knew who else had been invited until they walked into the room. Church leaders and conservative academics were sitting next to labor union representatives. Progressive power brokers who drafted Bernie Sanders to run for president suddenly found themselves breathing the same air as MAGA talking heads. On Wednesday, the Future of Life Institute, one of the most authoritative voices in the world of AI safety, released the results of that meeting, the Pro-Human AI Declaration, a concise document with 5 guidelines on how AI development must be centered on humanity first, with a pointed focus on avoiding the concentration of power in the hands of the powerful, preserving the well-being of children, families, and communities, and preserving human agency and liberty. It has the broadest range of signatories that I have personally ever seen on a single political document. Powerful civic organizations well outside the tech world have signed on to the declaration. Major labor groups like the AFL-CIO Tech Institute, the American Federation of Teachers, the Screenwriters Guild, religious organizations like the G20 Interfaith Forum Association and the Congress of Christian Leaders, the Progressive Democrats of America, the group that drafted Bernie Sanders to run as a Democrat in 2016, think tank conservatives like the Institute for Family Studies and advocacy groups like Parents Rise. The individual signatories range even further. Democratic presidential candidate Ralph Nader, the Blaze's Glenn Beck, War Room's Steve Bannon, Barack Obama's former national security advisor Susan Rice, and leaders of major evangelical organizations and more are expected to sign on. I remember last year during an improvised sermon that I did called Faith in a Fortune Cookie, I told the story of the Taoist farmer, a farmer who refuses to make specific conclusions when certain events happen in his life. Instead of saying something is good or bad, he said, could be good, could be bad, don't know yet. The same could be said for AI. It could be good, it could be bad, don't know yet. It matters what we do. It is a godlike technology that our Paleolithic brains have created. Perhaps AI will be the agent. I don't want to use the word threat, but I just did. Perhaps AI will be the agent that could bring humanity together in a common cause. Across political, racial, ethnic, religious, cultural, economic, national divides, all divides. Maybe AI could be the agent, the catalyst that can transform our medieval institutions such that they can finally begin to work for the whole of humanity and for the whole of our world's inhabitants.
In an effort to fulfill and further the vision and mission of this congregation, we ask our members and friends share of their time, treasure, and talents. With this, we will now take the offering. You may also use the Give Now option in the Breeze app or web browser. This month's 50/50 recipient is Georgia Interfaith Power and Light. Any check specifically designated as 50/50 or any Breeze donations specifying Give to 50/50 this month will go to support their work.
Thank you, Alex. We accept the sacred offering generously given by our beloved members and friends. May we use it wisely and judiciously in service to our mission.
Please rise as you are able and join us in singing hymn 1058, Be Ours a Religion, from the Softback Hymnal. And now we will extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We are here and together at home in this evolving place, home in this ever-changing breath and body. From beyond the clouds, beyond the earth's thin blue line, beyond the bright moon and meteor showers, we hear the call to look and listen carefully. Why not today? Why not now? Go in peace and enjoy your week. Thank you.